Ever feel like you have a great idea but can't pull the trigger? You think about it all day, play out every scenario, consider every risk, and then you do nothing. You want to start that side project, send that important message, or make that career move, but instead you think about it for weeks while the opportunity passes you by.
Why does this happen?
It's not because you're indecisive. It's not because you don't care. It's because your brain is stuck in a loop, and that loop is killing your progress. Think about how often you've been trapped like this. You want to ask for a raise, but you spend days rehearsing the conversation in your head, imagining every way it could go wrong. Or you want to launch your idea, but you keep researching just one more thing until months pass and you're still at square one. It's not that you don't know what to do, it's that your brain has convinced you that thinking more will make the decision easier. But here's the truth. Overthinking doesn't protect you, it paralyzes you. The good news? You can break this pattern. Overthinking isn't who you are, it's just a mental habit, and habits can change. Here are 3 simple steps to help you stop overthinking and start executing what matters. Step 1. Set a decision deadline. Big decisions feel impossible when you give yourself unlimited time to think about them, so don't. Here's what to do instead. Give yourself a deadline for the decision, not the action, just the decision. For example, if you're wondering whether to start a YouTube channel, tell yourself, I'll decide by Friday at 5 p.m. Not I'll start by Friday, just decide yes or no. Small decisions, even shorter. Should I send that email? 10 minutes to decide. Should I sign up for that class? By tonight. Why does this work? Because your brain loves open loops. As long as a decision is still being considered, your brain keeps spinning on it, wasting energy, creating anxiety. But when you set a deadline, you force a resolution, and here's the magic part. Most decisions aren't permanent. You're not picking your life path forever, you're just picking the next step. Think of it like this. You're standing at a fork in the road, and you've been standing there so long you've built a camp. But the truth is, both paths probably lead somewhere interesting. The real mistake is staying at the fork. According to research from Princeton University, the average American makes about 35,000 decisions per day, but we only have mental energy for about 3 to 4 truly hard decisions before decision fatigue kicks in. That's why successful people make decisions fast, not because they're reckless, because they know that thinking for 2 hours rarely produces a better decision than thinking for 20 minutes. Here's how to use this today. Pick one decision you've been overthinking. Maybe it's whether to have that difficult conversation, whether to invest in that course, whether to quit that commitment that's draining you. Set a timer for 10 minutes. Think it through one final time. When the timer goes off, decide, yes or no. That's it. The relief you'll feel from finally making the call is worth more than another week of mental torture. Step 2. Use the 10-10-10 rule. Here's where overthinking really gets you stuck. You're trying to predict the future. Every worst-case scenario, every what-if, every possible regret. But your crystal ball is broken. You can't predict the future, so stop trying. Instead, use the 10-10-10 rule. It was developed by business strategist Susie Welsh, and it cuts through mental fog like nothing else. When you're stuck on a decision, ask yourself 3 questions. How will I feel about this decision in 10 minutes? How will I feel about it in 10 months? How will I feel about it in 10 years? This does something brilliant. It shifts your brain out of panic mode into perspective mode. Let's say you're overthinking whether to speak up in a meeting. In 10 minutes, if you stay silent, you'll regret it. If you speak up, you might feel nervous but proud. In 10 months, you won't even remember the meeting if you stay silent, but if you spoke up and contributed, that could be the moment you became visible to leadership. In 10 years, honestly, either way, it won't matter much. But a pattern of speaking up builds confidence. A pattern of staying silent builds regret. Or think about overthinking a job change. In 10 minutes, staying feels safe. Leaving feels scary. In 10 months, if you stayed in a job you hate, you're miserable and stagnant. If you took the leap, you're either thriving somewhere new or you learned what you don't want. In 10 years, the risk you took, even if it didn't work out, becomes a story of courage. The risk you avoided becomes a story of what if. See how this works? It takes your spiraling thoughts and organizes them into 3 clear time horizons. Suddenly, the decision becomes less about what's perfect and more about what matters. According to a study from Cornell University, 85% of what we worry about never actually happens, and for the 15% that does happen, 79% of people said they handled it better than they expected. Your brain is terrible at predicting the future, so stop letting future fears make present decisions. Here's a real example. You're overthinking whether to start freelancing on the side. 10 minutes feels overwhelming. You'd have to set up a website, find clients, figure out pricing. 10 months, if you never start, you're in the exact same spot, still dreaming. If you start, even if you only land one client, you've learned more than you would have from thinking about it. In 10 years, this could be the moment you look back on as when you took control of your income, or the moment you regret not even trying. Which path feels right now? Try this today. Pick one decision you're stuck on. Run it through 10-10-10. Write down your answers. Watch how the fog clears. Step 3. Act before you're ready. Here's the biggest lie overthinking tells you. You'll be ready soon, just a little more preparation. But here's the truth. You will never feel 100% ready, ever. Ready is a myth. It's a moving target your brain uses to keep you safe and stuck. Think about every big thing you've ever done in your life. Were you ready when you started your first job? Ready when you moved to a new city? Ready when you committed to that relationship? No, you did it scared. You figured it out as you went, and somehow you survived. The people you think are naturally confident, they're not. They just act before they overthink. They know that action creates clarity. Thinking creates confusion. Stanford psychologist Kelly McGonigal says it perfectly. You can't think your way into a new way of acting. You have to act your way into a new way of thinking. Let me give you a framework. The 20-second rule. When you have an idea or decision, you have about 20 seconds before your brain starts listing all the reasons why it won't work. In those 20 seconds, take one tiny action towards it. Want to start a podcast? In the next 20 seconds, open a voice memo and record 30 seconds of yourself talking about the topic. That's it. Want to ask someone on a date? Type the message in those 20 seconds. You can edit it later, but get the draft down now before your brain talks you out of it. Want to quit your job and start your business? Open a Google Doc and write business plan at the top. Boom, you've started. Here's why this works. Once you take that first micro action, your brain shifts from thinking mode to doing mode. It's like pushing a boulder. The first push is brutal, but once it's moving, momentum takes over. And here's the bonus. Imperfect action beats perfect planning every single time. According to research from the University of Chicago, people who take imperfect action learn 73% faster than people who wait for the perfect plan, because action gives you real feedback. Thinking gives you imaginary problems. Look, I'm not telling you to be reckless. I'm telling you that most decisions are reversible, most risks are smaller than they feel, and most regrets come from inaction, not imperfect action. Here's your challenge today. Pick one thing you've been overthinking. Could be an email, a conversation, a decision, a project. Whatever it is, you have 20 seconds starting now to take the smallest possible action towards it. Not finish it, just start it. One sentence, one click, one message. Go. Here's the truth. Everyone overthinks. The difference is successful people act anyway. They don't wait for certainty. They don't wait for perfect timing. They don't wait until the fear goes away. They feel the fear, acknowledge the uncertainty, and move forward anyway. Think of your goals like a path through fog. You can't see the whole route, but you can see the next step. And that's all you need. Stop trying to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. Let's keep it simple. If you're an overthinker, here's what to do. Step 1. Set a decision deadline. Force a resolution instead of an endless loop. Step 2. Use the 10-10-10 rule. How will this feel in 10 minutes, 10 months, 10 years? Step 3. Act before you're ready. Take one micro action in the next 20 seconds. That's it. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait until you've thought it through completely. Don't wait until you feel ready. Because here's what nobody tells you. Clarity comes from action, not thought. You can't think your way into confidence. You have to act your way into it. Pick one thing right now. One decision you've been overthinking. Apply one of these steps today. Your dreams are waiting for you, but they're not waiting forever. The only question is, will you overthink your way past them, or will you act your way towards them? You already know the answer. Now go prove it. And remember this, done is better than perfect, started is better than stuck, And action, even imperfect action, beats endless thinking every single time. Thanks for watching. Now stop overthinking and go take that first step.